What is good, guys? Welcome back to our Director of Football versus Head Coach series. Today we're going to play the quarterfinal of the Europa League. Well, for our head coach anyway. And we'll just have to check in with Director of Football and see how his team is doing. But before we do that, let's find out who we're going to get in that quarterfinal, shall we? Dimitar Berbatov with the draw. And these are the teams left in the competition. Atalanta, Stade Rennais, Bayer Leverkusen, Sporting Lisbon, ourselves at Brighton, Villarreal, Liverpool and Young Boys. I think it's fairly obvious that the ideal draw in this one. Sporting are first out of the hats and they get Villarreal. Stade Rennais next up versus Atalanta. So, I mean, the one that we really want to avoid and the one we would really like to play, both still in. Will it be our time this time? We're at home first. All eyes will be on the likes of Ansu Fati and Brighton, who will play... Well, it's neither of the teams, really. It's Bayer Leverkusen, who have scored 19 goals so far in the Europa League, having conceded 12. And just to finish up, Liverpool will play Young Boys, the jammy bastards. And if we are fortunate enough to beat Bayer Leverkusen and get to the semi-final, we will be against Liverpool or Young Boys. So there's no chance of an all-English final. And our chances of getting to the final have been significantly reduced, I'd say. Just a quick recap for those that are new to the series. We are running two saves alongside each other. One, which is the one we just saw the draw for, where we are the head coach of Brighton. We're not involved in any transfers, any recruitment whatsoever. We literally just pick the team and the formation and do the training. And in the other one, we are the Director of Football and our assistant manager, who is by proxy promoted to head coach, will be taking charge of the games where we literally just buy the players for him. And we've had mixed levels of success thus far. Our head coach, PottsyFM, sits third in the league after 29 games. We're in the quarterfinal of the Europa League, the quarterfinal of the FA Cup, and we got knocked out at the semi-final stage of the Carabao Cup. And over in the parallel universe where we are Director of Football, this is Rui Aguas. He is our assistant manager / head coach. He comes from Portugal. He likes to play 4-2-3-1, and this is how he is doing. He is fifth in the league, which is still pretty good considering some of the games we've seen on camera have been woeful. But he is out of everything. Third round of both domestic cups, and the last episode, he got crashed out of the Europa League by Rangers, 2-1 on aggregate, a last-minute defeat in a game where he left Evan Ferguson on the bench. Something that I'm still pretty annoyed with, to be honest. And this is Alex Garcia. I think he is potentially someone I've got my eye on as a replacement for next season, should we choose to dispense of Rui's services. Phil Neville is someone that matches the criteria we've got. He's assistant manager at New York City FC after the Spellers coach. He's still coaching Canada as well. I mean, did we bring Phil Neville back over? That's for a later episode. Let's skip forward to what would be the closest league game for the Director of Football side, and then we'll play the first leg of that quarter-final against Bayer Leverkusen. Before we do get to those games in around the 11th of April, we've just had our youth intake for our Director of Football. It's a poor intake, 1 star. Abdul Mohammed, a goalkeeper, the best of a pretty bad bunch. Well, it's too early to tell about his potential. It's probably 3.5 star. Mason Stringfellow. Let's hope I think he'd probably have a better career following in the footsteps of his namesake Peter than he would as a top level striker, but maybe we'll be proved wrong. We'll hopefully give these guys time to develop, and I guess I'm even more hopeful that the head coach gets a better intake, which we'll find out after we play. If we go to our schedule, who will it be around the 11th? It will probably be this Aston Villa away game that we play on this one. So we'll skip through, play all these games. We have just beaten Brentford 3-0. Ferguson, Estupinian and Solly March with the goals. Ferguson proving that he should have been on the pitch against Rangers. I swear to God, I'm not bitter about it. But let's get Luton and Liverpool played, and then I'll see you in a sec for this Aston Villa game. So we've got to the 9th of April. It is the Aston Villa game, who actually sit third. So third versus fifth. I'm actually a bit gutted I come back for this game because we've been playing really well. And no doubt Rui will bottle it against Villa. But we followed up the 3-0 Brentford with a 4-1 victory at home to Luton. Could have been even better if Billy Gilmore could have scored his penalty. But Matoma chipped in with a couple of goals. Solly March and Wilfred Gnonto. Oh man, our signing finally gets a run out. Did he start? No, he came on in the 60th minute, but he gets himself on the score sheet. Fair play. And then in a game against Liverpool away, where, Jurgen Klopp's job is listed as insecure, Fabio Vieira gave us the lead. Oh, look, our signing's starting to take effect. You love to see it. And unfortunately, it was a Liverpool signing in Florentino Luis that didn't come off the bench. He came back with an equaliser, which means we're still fifth. And it's going to be a tough game. I'll just check in with the squad so you can see what's been going on. Evan Ferguson top scoring with 15 goals. Pascal Gross playing the most games, 43 starts and 1 substitute appearance. Jason Steele had 43 starts himself. Assist-wise, Gross, March, Milner, all with 6. Estupinian and Matoma next in line. Look at some of these transfer values. Harvey Elliott's not our player, unfortunately. But João Pedro with a massive value if you wanted to try and cash in the summer. Billy Gilmore, there's no way anybody has given us this kind of money if we do need to generate some funds. Estupinian, there was interest in him last summer. 38 million for Lamptey. I would take that every day of the week. And Ansu Fati's not exactly sitting with the highest value in the world if we were to try and make that one permanent. But we've got over a month to go and a lot can happen between now and then. So let's disappear on holiday for a day. Let's get up to the director's box with old Watch Along and see what Villa Park has to offer for us on a cold, dark night. It's probably not cold actually. April is spring, I guess. Birds would have been chirping earlier in the day. I don't know. I'm just waffling. I should have just clicked continue and got this game. Oh, we have a wonky touchline tablet. Have we got all the things we want? We kind of do. Yep. Not sure why that went down there. Maybe it's the first time I'm playing this since the patch. Yeah. Any time now for a highlight, guys. Here we go. It's a Villa one. Leon Bailey with the throw into Tielemans. He cuts back and finds Horse? Is it Horse? I don't know. He found Luca Digne. Luca Digne found the palms of Jason Steele. And Villa have a corner. And it's in towards Watkin at the near post. Jason Steele clutches on to the ball. What do we have here? This is not how we have this set up at all. I know what's happened. We was having some issues with some just the game in general, I think we was having issues with, and I had to reset it to default, and this obviously has reset all this kind of stuff. No shots, none on target. Coming up to half time, Milenkovic clears, but to nobody. It's a bit aimless. Kamara, I think it was against Villa earlier in the episode. We saw the kind of danger that they could have had from the edge of the box, and that danger seems to have turned itself into the open. No, it hasn't. It's been disallowed. Jacob Ramsey went a little bit too early, but this is far from convincing. I mean, he's a lot too early, but this is far from convincing. And kind of goes against the form we've been showing, to be honest. Who's been... Estupinian injured. Lamptey on. He's playing the 4-2-3-1. I mean, you do have options on the bench. We have had some shots in right at the end of the half. Haven't had a highlight of anything we're doing. So hopefully he's down on the touchline demanding more or berating the team. Maybe he even threw a water ball at half time. If he did, it certainly hasn't worked for Jason Steele. That looks like it was very close to him when it went in. And I would not be happy with my goalkeeper conceding this kind of goal. It's deflected, but if anything, the deflection actually brought it closer to Steele. I don't know what he was doing there. It's another Aston Villa highlight. And this is the carbon copy, Douglas Luiz. Okay, gets back to Tielemans, and Ferguson just hoofs it clear. Like, did they not have play out of defence on? Has he not heard of that concept? Lamptey, I mean, has he heard of passing the ball to his teammates at all? Are we trying to keep possession? I don't really know what he's doing tactically. It certainly doesn't seem to work on camera, at least, as Tielemans bursts into the box and Liam Bailey hits the frame of the goal via a deflection, via a save. I don't know. Ansu Fati is off. Solly March is on. I don't think that's the kind of change you need to make, to be honest. Wholesale changes required, as Evan Ferguson can't hold on to the ball as he tries to burst out of defence. I mean, I can't say this is very good for us at all, but we've got a corner. Okay. We have a chance to salvage something here. Solly March swings it in. Veltman gets up and he's hit the crossbar. And it is hoofed clear. Is that signs of the shoots of recovery? Is it just a flash in the pan? Was that our big chance squandered? Corner to defend now. Oh, it's bouncing around. DRB. I mean, that's a good save from Jason Steele. Could be too little too late in this game, given what the goalie's already conceded. But, I mean, we had the ball. Bailey. Gross. Again, it's just lumped. It's just lumped. And it goes out for a Aston Villa throw-in. Look at that possession all over us. Shots all over us. Highlights just all over us. Douglas Luiz now, the goal scorer. Pascal Gross has nicked it though. Have we got a counter-attack in us? Evan Ferguson gives it away again, but this time he wins it back and continues his run down the right wing. He goes all the way back to the fullback. Pascal Gross has it now. Milenkovic on off the bench, I think. He loves changing his centre-backs. Don't bother doing anything that's going to get us a goal. Will ya? Evan Ferguson, I mean, it has got us a goal. Evan Ferguson's got the equaliser. Just shut up in the stands, Potsy. You're one of these toxic fans that just second guesses the manager all the time. Just sit back and just watch what he does. Veltman into March here. March finds Gross. This is great little football. Milner, first time into Evan Ferguson on his left. It's right in the top corner. No keeper in the world is saving that from our top scorer. And he goes off to celebrate in the corner in front of the burger van. Don't go to sleep, guys. Don't go to sleep. They nearly did. They nearly conceded a goal straight from the kickoff. But it stays 1-1. They've got an XG of 2, so maybe we're doing all right. They are third in the league. It's not the fact that, well, we're drawing. It's not but it's just the performance is what frustrates me. Rick Dewsbury Hall on though. Okay. but he looks like he's still going to leave one substitution in the tank. So again, questions asked, but that could turn out to be quite a valuable point in the long run. And yeah, I think Rui has done all right there. Let's go over to Potsy Tracksuit and see if he can have a good result in the first leg of the quarter-final of the Europa League. And the 1-1 draw looks even better given that Potsy Tracksuit has just gone to Villa Park in the quarter-final of the FA Cup and gone crashing out to a 4-2 defeat. 2-0 down after 8 minutes. We were not very good. We were very tired, it has to be said. And the effects of it showed. So no FA Cup glory for us in Season 1. But we move forward. But interestingly, a much better youth intake for the version of us that has no control over who is in charge of our youth development. And we've got, it's only an average, but we've got Kev Wearmouth on the left, 15 dribbling, 13 acceleration, value already at £6 million. We have Danny Brougham, who also from the left. I mean, he's going to struggle to get ahead of Kev. We have Daryl Ralph, 2 first names, 4.5-star potential, 15 years of age, a central midfielder with a decent first touch and passing ability. We have Kingsley Aramu, 4-star potential, a right winger, 12 for dribbling, 14 for pace. He's only 15 as well. And a bunch of 3-star players in our good talent. So maybe the AI is actually better at controlling their staff than me. Who knew? And the news of a good youth intake has spurred the first team on to a 2-0 victory at home to Brighton. And we sit with joint top. Well, they've got a game in hand, Man City, but we are level on points with Manchester City with 8 games to go. That is unbelievable. And we come crashing back down to earth with a 2-1 defeat away at Brentford. Unable to capitalise on Man City dropping points. Oh, if we'd have won that, we'd have been top of the league, guys. Can you believe it? Bottle jobs. Oh, well, I take the L on that one. But after a harsh but fair team talk at half-time, we overturn a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 win. 2 goals for next-gen winner Evan Ferguson to put us back above Man United into second as Man City drop points at home to Nottingham Forest. We're legitimately 1 point behind Man City. Absolute scenes. And is that enough momentum to push us one step closer to a semi-final in the Europa League? I hope so. This is the team. We've got Steele in goal, Estupinian, Dunk, Webster, Veltman, Milner and Gilmore. As Pascal Gross is not fully fit yet. João Pedro comes in on the left due to injuries to Matoma and Fati. 8 days to 2 weeks for Fati, 5 days to 2 weeks for Matoma. And next gen winner Evan Ferguson in attack. Right. It's been so good, apart from the Brentford game and the Villa game. But other than that, it's been exceptional. Potsy Tracksuit against the other big young name in European football management in Xabi Alonso. Who does press conferences before a game, honestly? It's quite accurate, the formation he's playing. I'm not sure. I think they tend to play Boniface up front rather than Patrick Schick. But Patrick Schick's been a beast in previous football managers. So let's hope we've got what it takes to keep him out today. Stade Rennais already 1-0 up. And Leverkusen have the first highlight. It's Grimaldo. It's into Stanisic. Oh, it's the outside of the post. He'll kick himself for missing that. I would have been kicking my defenders if we'd have conceded from it. Here they come again, but Estupinian with the interception. Now Billy Gilmore, he's got time to turn. It's slightly behind Solly March, but we retain possession. Here's Veltman. He finds Solly March again. And again, it's back to Webster. We could really do with a ball that enables him to turn Or he does. He looks for Gilmore's in. Billy Gilmore, 10th goal of the season for the Scottish midfield sensation. Unbelievable stuff. It's our first venture into the Leverkusen half, and it was patient from Solly March until that first time ball, and Veltman with the little flick on. An inverted wing-back playing like a target forward, and then your centre midfield on attack. Young Billy Gilmore races into the box and lashes it into the top corner, and the Brighton and Hove Community Stadium, otherwise known as the Amex, is bouncing. Here comes João Pedro back to Estupiñán, into João Pedro. What can he do on his rare chance to shine? He hits the top of the crossbar as Darwin Núñez has given Liverpool the lead. CDK has equalised for Atalanta. Here comes Leverkusen again. Granit Xhaka back to Tapsoba. Into Xhaka. Gilmore has not robbed it off him now. Evan Ferguson. Oh, he looks to slide in, Gilmore. He can't do it just yet. But here we go. We're going to rebuild again from the back. It's Adam Webster. He goes all the way back to Steele. Surely he could have just found that same pass to Lewis Dunk. But will trust the player's judgment as Estupiñán and João Pedro have had a little overload on the left-hand side. João Pedro cuts in again, and João Pedro smashes home for his 6th of the season. And again, what do I know? Trust the process, Potsy. The players know what they're doing, and what they're doing is dismantling the German side here. Estupiñán into João Pedro, and he's got no right to score from where he picks up the ball, but he cuts inside. It's through the legs. Hradecki gets beaten at his near post, and we take a 2-0 lead. After 25 minutes, absolute scenes. What a performance this is. We are massive. We're going to win the lot, boys and girls. We're going to win the lot. Well, we can't win the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, but we could win the Europa League, and we could win the Premier League. It would. I mean, I would take one. I would definitely take 2. To be honest, I'll take top 4. That would be unbelievable stuff. As Milner gives the ball away to Palacios. Again, just don't get carried away. Let's just focus on the here and now. And we won it back. Billy Gilmore with a first time ball. Oh, Milner. He's beaten to the tackle. And here is Patrick Schick. And he finds the bottom corner. It is... Let's get back down to earth by Leverkusen. Still a dangerous side. And this is one made from our own downfall, really. Milner has got to be stronger in the tackle. Centre midfield. Definitely an area I want to try and strengthen in the summer if Paul Mitchell has got the kahunas. I mean, it just goes to show we could... For those that haven't been keeping up with the series, go back to our transfer special. We nearly signed Tchouaméni. Yep, Tchouaméni on the transfer list. Nearly got him in January, but we didn't have enough money because Paul Mitchell signed 2 absolute, just low-level squad players. Not even, realistic squad contenders. And as a result, we're forced to continue with Milner, who's not by any stretch of the imagination been bad for us, but he has several times across the course of the series given the ball away, which has led to goals. But it doesn't matter because João Pedro is on the pitch, Solly March is on the pitch, and when Solly March is on the pitch, we have a chance of scoring goals, and he gets an assist here. Billy Gilmore into March. He absolute sells his man a dummy, and Leverkusen will be disappointed that cross was allowed to get to João Pedro. But we won't. We'll be ecstatic. We're 3-1 up as Konate has got a second for Liverpool and Oliveira has given Villarreal the lead. Scalvini has given Atalanta the lead away at Stade Rennais. So it's looking at this stage like an all-English semi-final, but a long way to go in both games. Young boys have got down to 10 men. Oh, there's me getting carried away watching. I've forgotten to make some substitutions. What am I like? Right, what can we do here then? Alan Velasco, on you come for Adam Lallana. Velasco, out of all the signings we've had in this save, he's the one I'm most keen to try and make work if we can. Hasn't performed yet, but I keep forgetting to make substitutions. So is it any wonder Evan Ferguson can come off for a rest for Danny Welbeck? And yeah, Solly March can come off for Adingra. As we look to rest players for our league campaign. I think we've got Burnley, who are bottom, up next. So we should be able to get away without 100% strength, like 100% strength side, but being second in the league and being very keen to try and secure top 4, it's a game we simply must win. As Pedro with the Rabona cross, and Welbeck, I thought that was going to drop to Adingra, but how cheeky was that from João Pedro? Probably could have gone himself for the hat-trick, chose to Rabona it across to Welbeck, and it was a good save in the end. As Estupinian looks for the near post, he can't find a Brighton head, and it gets cleared, and that is that. 5 minutes to go. We've been fairly convincing here, but we must keep our concentration levels up as Leverkusen look to be a threat in this last couple of minutes, but we've nicked it now. Veltman looks to bring it over halfway, or at least bring the team forward. Here's Dahoud, Welbeck, Velasco, chance to shine, finds João Pedro, carries on his run in towards the box. Go on, lad. Estupinian, numbers in there. Adingra, one of them. Back to Billy Gilmore, and that's a great save. I thought that was going to nestle in the bottom corner, but it's not to be. Now Estupinian with the corner. Is he going to look for this near post again? It looks like it. João Pedro's in there, dunks in there, and it's a comfortable save for the Bayer Leverkusen goalkeeper. We've got one more chance maybe to take a 3-goal lead away to Germany. Here's Billy Gilmore again. Veltman is very, very patient stuff from us. We're not adverse to going back to our centre-backs in attempts to go forward. Here's Webster into Dahoud. Gilmore, he's found Welbeck. Welbeck's behind his man. Welbeck has scored. The flag is going to go up. It's going to be a big moment in this tie. It's offside. It is offside. Their left back was dangerously close to playing him on there. Obviously it looked very offside, but I was aware the defender was there and it was closer than it looked, and it was really close. But ultimately, it finishes 3-1 to us. That is a very solid performance, a very good episode from both teams, and that is where we'll leave it. If you enjoyed that, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's been a great series for me so far. I'm loving the support I'm getting, and long may it continue. And I'll see you next week where we look to push on and secure a European place in the league.